One of the most common requests throughout Path of Exile 2's early access period has been for more frequent balance changes. GGG has pushed back against the idea, citing communal outcry from 0.1 when Cast and Freeze was nerfed shortly after the game's release, and that they don't want to ruin players' builds and experiences in the middle of a league. While arguments could be made that the cost or time investment of respeccing may be too high, no matter what GGG does, there'd be no way they could satisfy everyone whose build gets affected by mid-league balance changes. So then, what if players could opt into playing a version of the game that receives more frequent balance changes? In patch 0.4, due to the imbalanced state of the Temple League mechanic, over 40,000 players opted to drop out of the main league to join the Second Wind Private League, making it the largest in Path of Exile history. This shows that a good chunk of the active player base would be willing to tolerate changes, or even restart a league if it means the game will be in a more balanced state. For players who don't want to deal with staying on top of all the changes, they could continue to play on the stable league client, whereas those who are okay with mid-league changes could provide more rapid feedback to developers, and potentially give them more room to experiment with change as well. Now, some concerns surrounding this idea are that it would split up the player base and the in-game economy would be affected. To that I'd say right now the players have already been splitting themselves up with things like the Second Wind Private League, but to be fair, we don't necessarily have to have an unstable client launch at the same time as the stable one, and instead, it could come online a month after the league, so that way it gives time for the dust to settle on the main league mechanic, developers an opportunity to analyze and address what they like or dislike in the current state of the game. Another concern is that it might end up putting more work on the developers' plates, and with the recent delays, this kind of feature may be lower on GGG's internal set of priorities. To which I'd say, fair. But that's part of the fun of offering feedback. In any case, with the launch of 1.0 looming on the horizon, there are concerns that certain skills, bosses, and enemies won't be as balanced as they could be when the game goes free to play. The current cadence of releases doesn't give GGG many opportunities to adjust. At the very least, if players could choose to opt into receiving more frequent changes, we'd have a clearer picture of how much the community would be comfortable with having mid-league balance changes. So what do you think? Should GGG implement a second league category or not? Should things remain as is? Or should they just say screw it and implement more frequent changes regardless of what the players think? Let me know in the comments, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and special thanks to all my patrons and channel members for your continued support. I appreciate it. Until next time, take care, stay safe. Last Protagonist out.